with us? Thank you. There are several people I know watching. Let me quickly look at my inbox and see if I've got any responses back. No, okay. If I get any back, I will. Anyway, we have the recording. Okay, thank you. Let me share my screen. Okay, you got it.
Yep.
So, you know, I mean, I was a very experienced user of the Politics Rewired Spoke. Interestingly, I never created a campaign from scratch because I always took another campaign and just copied it and then modified it, okay?
Yep.
So let's just go in and to campaigns, no campaigns.
Yep.
So I'm going to click on plus. I assume, fantastic. That looks very familiar.
I bet.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, exactly. Well, you know, what I'm going to find out is I just don't know what was in the base code and what was modified by Polly, what was modified by you. So anyway, what is it about? It is about inactive prior VBM. So this is going to inactive Dems who had been invoked by mail. Due date, let's make it. Let's give it a week. We probably won't. Intro HTML. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you can leave those blank. You can add HTML code to give your texters a different view when they request text, but you can absolutely leave that blank and it won't affect anything.
Okay, at a certain point, we'll go take a look and see what I could do with that. All right, save and go to the next section. Who are you contacting? All righty, let me find the CSV file. And this is, the CSV file came out of EMS. I used EMS for it because EMS does a very good job of picking the optimum phone number. And as a comment, I would like to filter contacts. I'd like to pre-filter. Is there a selection for doing that?
There's not a selection for filtering landlines on the self-service spoke. There is a process in the portal that Mark might be able to say more about to filter contacts for.
Okay, because I expected there would be, Mark, and I think it was in the contract.
We can check that. I think that what I recall talking about, to the extent that I was in the conversations, was that it was on the portal, not on the self-service.
Well, we'll go back and look because I had expected it would be here. I'm very disappointed in that. I count on it being here because that's how I get the metadata corrected.
Well, you'll definitely get feedback on any landlines that you hit in this campaign. That'll be
Well,
back to you.
it's not going to distinguish landlines. The problem, unless the error codes have been changed, it just says it can't text it.
I think you'll get an error code 300, which indicates it was a landline for anybody who you try and text.
Okay, so we'll talk about the error codes. I mean,
yeah.
but you know, I was not expecting to pay for. Well, I guess I don't pay for 300s. I think I know.
Sure about that. Hopefully, there won't be too many of those either
Okay,
way.
well, no, there will be because the way I work on this is I keep on trying to get rid of the numbers that are not textable. Because I'm constantly, you know, I have voters that have, Mark, you probably know this. You have voters in there that have got 6 cell phone numbers, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So if I get one of them marked as not textable and gets deleted as a wrong number, I try the next one and I try the next one. But the probability of them is lower and lower that they're actually, but I want to get rid of them from the voter. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, look, let's not, we shouldn't be doing that now, okay? But I mean, okay, I can't. Let me get the file. Let me remember where the file is. Let's see, could I just drop it in? How do I do this? Okay, I'm gonna go find it. That's good. Here's the file. And it does have state file ID. So,
Yep, you'll have to click the save button at the bottom.
no,
of
no, I
Yeah.
understand that. I guess it's not showing me, this is showing me the extra fields rather than, but it's already found the standard fields. I got
Yeah,
it.
that's
Okay.
correct. It just shows you the extra ones.
Save and go to the next section. No, I'm very well aware if you don't hit save and spoke, it doesn't get done.
Yeah.
That is the case.
I feel like
Okay,
I
so
read
in
that.
this page, I think one thing that is a little bit different between this spoke and rewired is the way that texters can join the campaign to send messages. So we can go over that in a second.
Yeah, but it sounds like from what you were saying that they join after you send them a link.
Yes, yeah.
Rather than
That's what we
pre-setting them. That's great.
recommend. Yeah.
That's great, actually. I mean, the way it worked in Rewired was a pain.
Yeah,
So,
we agree. So this
all
part
right,
you
so
can skip.
I can let this run while I set up the interactions or no?
Yes, you can. Yeah. I think the contacts have actually finished loading now also.
Yeah, it's not saying it, but
Oh, you can go back and look if you want in the that's in the contact section.
yeah, it is. I can see it's done.
Yeah.
Again, I'm used to that in Rewired. It's the same thing. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's got 2,906 contacts. Texters, I don't have to set up is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, you can just
Correct.
close that.
Okay, interactions. All right, let us do this. So let me just show you the campaign first, okay?
Sure, sure.
So here's the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
This is the initial text. So what we're doing is, let's see, I think I'm gonna put spaces in here.
Yeah,
Do you require spaces at stop to end? Do you think it's okay without them?
No, you have to have a space at least. Stop has to
Usually,
be a word on its own.
yeah, so, all right, I have room even without the space, okay? Over here, this one's not cutting it very close. The next one is cutting it very close. But this one is pretty good. All right, yes, so anyway, the question is, do you still live in Lee County? If the answer is yes, we say, whoops, this is the wrong campaign. This is the right campaign. I have two different campaigns here. The
Mhm.
Never in VBM campaign and the previously enrolled in VBM campaign. And the one we're setting up is the previously enrolled one. The initial text is identical.
Mhm.
The only difference is what happens if they say, yes, I still live in Lee County. If they were previously enrolled, we have a traceable link to go to the SOE website to re-enroll. Whereas if they were not previously enrolled, we had them call the SOE. Except for that, the campaign's identical. But because of this, I couldn't use EMS to run it as one camp, and I didn't want to do it. All right, so that's the initial text. So let's just start with taking the initial text and dropping it in. Okay. I have 3 characters left in the initial segment, but that's counting 11 characters for first name, and I usually use 7 as my standard.
Yep.
Okay, so that's good, and it's got first name. I'm done. And now I have a question. So the question is, do you still live in Lee County? And let me get a response. And suppose the answer is yes, I still live in Lee County. Action handler. Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. You can
Sure.
skip that also. That might be a feature that we end up hiding to the end user. It's not necessary. It's not relevant to your campaign here.
All right, so here is the response. So here's the script for the response. And it's 2 segments, which is fine.
And is there a link
And
there? Um,
yes, there's a link here.
and so does that need to be is that a different link for everybody, or is that one link for all?
This is one link for all.
Okay, So we're
The
not-
link would be traceable if I had a link in the initial text, but I don't.
okay, so
The
you,
way
so that,
EMS,
got it. So we don't have to do a custom, a script variable or anything for that. That's the same link for everybody. They're all getting that same.
yeah, they're all gonna get this if they answer, yes, I live in Lee County.
Okay, good, just
But
wanna make
we're
sure.
tracing a G in here. This is our campaign G,
I see.
so
So,
that this is being traced through campaign G. VX is the short link to the Lee County SOE's interior webpage, is actually inside a frame on their webpage. So. Okay, now next response is no, I moved out of Florida. So, all right, let's see how I'm confused. Let's see. I have another answer. Do I click on save and go to no?
No,
How do
there's add a response
top.
button a little bit higher up on the page.
Add a response? But
Yep.
is it gonna save this one?
It should just still be on the same page, but it's always a good idea to save it while you're working. If you
Okay.
went to a different page right now, these would not save. So
Okay, all right, so good. Okay. This is learning how to do it. All right, so the answer is no. I have in here, whoops, excuse me. I have in here 3, whoops. I'm at the wrong copy of Chrome. There we go. I have in here 3 different tags for moved. Okay, we had specified 2 tags for move, but I now realize we really need 3. We had moved out of Florida, moved within Florida, but we need a generic move tag where it's ambiguous. When we were
Mhm.
talking about the standard tags.
Yeah.
Remember, I'll explain to you why. So if it says, no, I moved out of Florida, the response is, thanks for the update. Be sure to vote in the new state. And this is a very, very, very generic answer that says, it gives them a link, in this case, a traceable link to Ballotpedia, where they can find the state that they're in. Okay. No, I moved within Florida. So if I move within Florida, now I want these to auto tag. And we haven't set the tags up. So do I need to stop and get the tags in?
So for the tags, the way canned responses are set up is that you
Oh,
can have the tag applied automatically.
Yeah, these are not, I'm sorry, these are not tagged. These are just responses. We'll get to the tags when we get to the canned responses.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. I'm getting myself
You
confused.
can, like, if you wanted your volunteer or your texters to apply a tag to a survey response, they can do that.
They
but it
certainly
won't-
can. Absolutely. All right, I'm adding another response. Cleveland County, no, I move within Florida. Okay, being asked to update the address or call the local election. This is, by the way, again, this is very generic. Anybody could use this
Right.
Mhm.
to within, how they, whether or not they use EMS as part of it. So if there's an ambiguous answer, I have moved without saying, well, very often people will say, I don't live in Florida anymore,
Mhm.
right? But if somebody says, no, I've moved without saying where they are, then the question is, are you still a Florida resident? And then there's a question
Mm-hmm.
so that's actually a question. And we need a response, right?
Mhm.
So if the answer is yes, that's gonna be, this is a slightly complicated campaign, right? Yes. So this has them update their address and re-enroll and vote by mail. And if on the other hand, the answer is no, the answer is going to be that. And I think that is the whole script. Yes. Save and go to next section.
The all important save.
Right. Hey,
Okay.
look, believe me, after running 40 or 50 campaigns, I tell everybody, save every time.
I know.
It-
I save every time I click on something, I save.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Okay.
So this is where we should take a break from this page and go to the tags menu on the left-hand side to set up
Great.
the tags.
Yep. All right. So,
You can delete that test tag, just delete
Yeah.
it.
right.
Room number we already set up, but you can, set up all the additional tags that you want on this campaign.
Yeah, so let me just start adding tags, but wrong number is, very, very common tag, obviously. Let me go to my tags list and I have so I'll for the moment stop sharing the, oh no, actually I have to share, let me share my whole screen for a minute. Let me get, all right. So. Okay, I think you see my whole screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
All right, so here are the tags. So moved.
The description's not really used for anything. You could just,
No, I got it.
yeah.
Description is a required field, it says.
Yeah, you do have to add something there, but I'm just saying it's never visible to the texter, so we usually just put the same name as the tag itself for the description. And then this is important, the texter tags. So if you want, this is different from Rewired. If you want your texters to be able to apply the tags that are not like the canned responses, many of them have tags that are applied automatically. Any tag that is associated with the canned response will be applied automatically. If you want your texters to be able to add tags to conversations without sending that exact canned response, then you need to add texter dash tags here for each of the tags. So if you just want that to be a standard that they can apply tags at any point in the conversation, I would apply texter dash tags to all of your tags. Does that make sense?
Right, so do I have the quotes on it or just text to text?
Just the texter dash tags.
Okay. Is wrong number set up the same way?
I believe it is, yes.
Let's edit and look. Yes. Okay. All right, moved outside Florida. You understand how we use confirmed ID?
Yes, I do understand how you're using it.
We are encouraging people to use this approach. I mean, I may not have told you when I ran the campaign on February 2nd. It was when I got what I sent out the is this. I'm sorry, when I did, yeah, when I did February, when I sent out is this, you know, it was sort of an 80% wrong number compared to 20% actual. 20% confirmed identity, so it's why I assume it's a wrong number if I don't get an answer back. But I don't think I'm gonna put Spanish. I think I'll put Spanish in. I don't know what to put in as a canned response for Spanish. I'll put the tags in, but I'm not sure I'm gonna put the canned responses in. Because
Yeah.
we ought to have something in Spanish.
Yeah, if you have somebody that speaks Spanish at the DEC, our
Yeah,
practice-
I try to get to it. I mean, James Perone, who's you know, who's, you know, kind of working with me on this, does speak Spanish. So I was gonna get James to give me something appropriate in Spanish to put in. I'll do it if I won't do it on this campaign, but I'll do it on the next one, which I'll probably run tomorrow. All right, those are the tags. And somewhere I have to hit save, yes? Or are they saved?
those are saved automatically.
All right, so I have a whole repertory of tags.
Yes,
Beautiful.
indeed. Now we can
What's
add,
that? All right, so now go back to the campaign. Go back to the inactive campaign. And now go to the canned responses, yes?
Mhm. And there, you see on the right-hand side, the little upload button? That's
Yep. All right, so quickly take a look at my file, which I think I've done consistently with yours. So here's the file.
Yes, that should work.
What we always do by convention is start with the campaign specific responses with numbers, followed by the generic canned responses with letters and caps. That's what we've done. So all of these, A through Q, are, the reason it took me a while to get back to you was I was really working on getting this the way I wanted. So for example, you see that there are trackable links in many of these, not quite in all of them, but in many of them.
Yeah, one thing that I would say is that if you have canned responses that are identical to the survey responses, it's best practice to usually just have them in one place or the other. So like moved out of Florida, we have both.
Oh, I understand, but I mean, it's very unusual that we actually have these in both places. It's very unusual. I mean, what I mean by that is that you know, in most campaigns, we're not doing what we're doing here, where we actually have it in the answers,
Mhm.
okay? And also, they're slightly different links because the ones here have got campaign 0, which is a default. So they're not being tagged to a particular campaign. So we'll know actually whether they clicked on the link that was in a canned response or whether they clicked on a link that was within the campaign.
Mhm. Yeah, this file looks good to upload.
Looks good to upload. Okay, so let me click on this. And let's see, where is this? This is in a Google Drive, actually. Where is it? Whoops. Oh. Oh. There we go. Incomplete line, title 0 Spanish.
Oh, that would be because you didn't.
That's because it's blank. Yep. I got it. All right, tell you what I'm gonna do. What do we do here?
I would just delete those rows that are.
I'm gonna delete the rows. So let me go to the file. Was what I intended to do, but I didn't do. Try again. That looks good.
Yep, and the ones that have tags, you can see the tags there.
Yeah, that's lovely. By the way, if moved is ambiguous, the canned response is, do you still live in Florida? And then if we get an answer back, okay, now you say they moved outside of Florida, move within Florida. And tag it accordingly. So it may end up with multiple tags.
Mhm. Definitely save this one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but look, the ability to upload it. I mean, you bear in mind, in Rewired, I couldn't bulk upload them.
I know. Yeah, much improved on that front.
And I have spent so many hours typing in canned responses and editing ones that were not quite right. Okay, it looks like we actually have the campaign put together, don't we?
Yeah,
Do I have to put it? Let me just look at what texting hours is going to be.
Eastern time for that, it would be 9 to 9 is the standard setting. You can override it for a campaign, but we don't recommend that you do.
But it is 9 to 9. Okay, that sounds good. And it's Eastern time.
Yeah, if you want to open the other drop downs, the dynamic assignment box, you need
Okay.
to toggle. You don't have to change anything about the batch strategy. In fact, we will probably hide that as well, but you do need to toggle on this allow texters with a link to join, because that is going to provide you with the link to send your.
That's what I thought. Okay. Oh, that's the link. I see.
Are you planning to use bulk sending for this? Or are you
Oh.
planning to send out the text one by
Oh,
one?
no, I want to use bulk sending. Absolutely.
In that case, I would make your batch size larger than the size of however many contacts you have in your campaign. So like 3,000 would be sufficient. Because that is how big of a batch the bulk sender is going to send at once.
Right. Okay. Yeah, it's
And
2,900 contacts. So
You can save it. The expected response window, you don't have to do anything with that. What that does is that you can set it to however many hours you want. Once replies have passed that hour mark, they will show an expired tag in the message review, so you can reassign them to a different texter if that makes sense. But
Yeah,
you know,
ordinarily you'd put them 2 or 3, right?
yeah, we would normally put we usually put 1 hour, but you know, it's up to you on
Yeah.
that one. So
Let me just put in 2. Batch strategy.
leave that one as is, and then you can save.
Now, we haven't yet said to auto send, or have we?
We have not set it to auto send yet. No, that'll happen after you start the campaign.
All right, so, I see texters is now, because I selected send the link,
Exactly. Yep.
texters has, so that was where, that was in texter experience?
That was in dynamic assignment. This
That
is
was in
these are
dynamic
other
assignment.
fields. If you open up the texter experience drop down, those are correct. The defaults are correct on those. You don't need to change anything there. If you keep scrolling down, sorry. I would, releasing contacts being toggled on, that allows your texters to get rid of all their replies. If they don't want to send any more, it'll unassign the contacts from them. So we recommend keeping that on and
Okay, got it.
toggling. Yeah, I would toggle on the allow release of conversations and the dynamic assignment enabled toggle. Just if you want texters to be able to release all their messages so they're not assigned to their account anymore.
Got it.
The rest are optional, or actually I lied. Tagging contacts you should turn on because that allows them to apply tags that are not associated with specific canned responses. Otherwise, everything else is optional. You can scroll down and see for example, the contact conversation URL. If you want your texters to be able to send you a link to a specific conversation, you can turn that on. Editing initial messages, you can toggle on or off. We have to include it as an option within Spoke, but you don't necessarily have to use it. It's not very apparent to the texter when they see that either, so it's a little hidden. Otherwise, let me just double check one last thing
Let's see, I
on,
better click on save. I actually did something here.
yes, definitely click save.
Now, it doesn't have the option of showing a preview of the campaign?
It doesn't have that option. We have as a feature addition in our backlog to add a button to preview the campaign, but it's not currently in Spoke, no.
Oh, got it, okay.
Um,
I'm used to having that as a way to cross-check what I did.
yeah, we do have some fields like in the interactions, for example, if you have a canned or a custom field that's not in your list, it will show up as like red so that you can get the flag that it's not working correctly. But yeah, the full script preview link is a roadmap item.
So that was something Rewired added?
Yeah, that would have been something that Rewired added.
Got it, yeah, that was a nice feature.
Yep.
Yeah, and we do have a similar thing within the portal already, but we are working on getting it for, you know, self-service in the future.
Yeah. So, okay, so it's apparently ready to go. Let's just do one thing. Let's just look at the interactions.
Yep. Always a good idea. Double check stuff.
Yeah, let me just go through that from the beginning. Let me do something just as a check. Okay, it's saying it's one segment. Okay. Do you still live in Lee County? Yes, I still live in Lee County. Great. Okay. Do you still, by the way, when I run my other campaign, I'm just gonna make a copy of this one. And all I gotta do is change one answer to a question, this one right here. Okay, and upload a different set of contacts and push set.
Yeah.
So. But I haven't got the CSV file for it yet, because I need to run it through EMS, and Bernard said, you want to run it through EMS yourself rather than my doing it for you. So he recorded a video of how to run it through EMS, which I gotta do. Okay, all right, so this is looking good. All right, so do you still live in county? No, I moved out of Florida. Thanks for the update. Be sure to vote in the new state. Do you still, no, I moved within Florida. You can update your address and re-enroll and vote by mail. Do you still live in Lee County? No, I've moved ambiguously. Are you still a Florida resident? Are you still yes, I still live in Florida. Great, update your address and roll a vote by mail at this link. Or call your local elections office. Are you still a Florida resident? No, I moved out of Florida. Good, okay, that looks good. Save just in case. So I could start the campaign when I have people ready to go.
That is right. Once you hit start, you could actually start the campaign now. It won't do anything by default. But once you hit start the campaign, then there will be a button that appears that says bulk send, and you'll need to click that button one time to activate the bulk sender. Once that's done, you should provide that link in the campaign to all of your texters who might be participating.
Yeah, well, they were sort of standing by to do it at 4. And we're an hour away from that. This went very easily, actually. Thank you. I mean, you guys made it simple.
Good.
And
Yeah, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions in the meantime. We, like I said, we're still working on getting MMS functionality added. We hope to have that ready to go next week. We have some documentation and a help center that we're going to share with you as well that will hopefully answer some of the questions in here. But yeah, in the meantime, let us know if you have questions.
right. So why don't we click on start this campaign?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Just so
Yep.
that we can see what it looks like. All right, the campaign is running. How do I get to view the campaign in operation?
Yeah, there's 2 ways. You can either remove the word edit from your browser link, or you can go back to the campaigns page and just click on the campaign from
I
there.
think you click stats as well, can't you? Click stats right
Oh,
there.
I think you can click stats too. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I usually do it. Yeah.
Okay, all right,
Oh.
now I'm where bulk send, I see, okay.
Yeah. That's the magic button. When you hit that bulk send button, then it should start sending.
Yeah, it
Okay,
will.
I know it's got the link right here, so I could just copy the link.
Yep.
And get them going.
Yeah. And generally, you just want to make sure your texters don't try to start doing anything before you hit bulk send. It's just better to hit bulk send first, let it send all 2906, and then folks can start handling the reply.
How long should I figure it will take to send?
It'll be
Hmm.
quick. Once it might take a few minutes to start sending. Just a note on that. Once it's like started, the 2906 will move from well, it'll still be in contacts, but then you'll see that in the queued section here. But to send 3,000 messages shouldn't take more than like 10 minutes, really.
Got it. Okay. All right. So, so I'm ready to just hit bulk send when I'm ready to start this. Okay. Why don't you guys stop the recording for a minute? I just wanted to talk for a second.